Are you looking for a podcast about that 28-inch zombie thing?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh! Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you today?
You know what? I'm fantastic.
Me too. I would like to crack into this first, though.
Please.
The
Getting a little
ender-
silly in here.
The ender got me heated. There you go. I'm basically telling you guys to go to the ender.
Just fast forward. You don't need the rest of this.
I'm not even letting you potentially miss it. If you're new to YMBToAP, after the credits, I mean, basically, after the end song, there's an ender. There's an end credit scene. We have a post-credit scene every single time. You should probably
Stick
go check it
around
out.
for it.
If you haven't been, you got 303 other ones to go listen to.
There's your homework, buddy.
Boom. So what's
Oh
up?
my
What's been
God.
going on?
Okay. It's finally happened.
Yeah?
I got my results for my sleep study that I did like 2 months ago.
Okay. I called
Alright,
it back then. They came back totally normal.
I'll remind the audience I was being tested for sleep apnea because I went into a cardiologist complaining of palpitations that occur only when I stand up.
Yes.
And it's not even palpitations. That's my problem with it. Is that I describe it as like
it's
a racing
not.
heart. It's just
Yeah.
like my heart gets fucking fast. It speeds the hell up when I stand up and I almost pass out.
Because a palpitation would be like skipping beats, right?
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up because the
let's define
doctor
that.
keeps being like, is it palpitations? And like, it just beats hard. Just my heart
I-
working overtime.
I was really hoping, though, that what you were about to say was like, I got tested for sleep apnea, diagnosed with sleep paralysis.
That's already been diagnosed.
Okay.
Diagnosed with monsters.
Oh, no, look. Heart palpitations are the sensation of fluttering, racing, pounding, or skipping. So it could
Okay.
be both, for both things. Yeah.
Racing and pounding, definitely. Check. So, got tested. My doctor was like, I think you have sleep apnea. That totally explains everything. That's what's wrong with you. We don't even need
Buy
to
my
test you. We'll
program.
test you just in case. Basically,
buy my self-help book about it.
Yes. So,
Okay.
this fucking doctor, they hooked me up to machines, etc. When I went to sleep, and it's literally 2 metrics that they had to measure. They measure breath and they measure heartbeats. And that's
Okay.
fucking it. And why did it take 6 weeks to get that result back to me? I do not know, but it's back.
Wow, has it really been that long? No.
Yes. May
6?
15th, I got tested.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
long ass time ago.
Well, this better be good then.
I literally forgot. Not that I forgot. I thought that they forgot about me. I was
Yeah.
like, I kept calling them, being like, "Do you have my sleep study yet?" And they're like, no. I'll
they're
leave a
reading
note
it."
for the doctor though. They'll get back to you. Are you leaving a note, or are you just hanging up and getting me off your line?
Yeah.
Anyway, the lady
anyway.
was like, here's all your measures and your metrics and stuff. And she gave me like all these percentages and numbers and like
Okay.
times per hour that stuff happened or didn't happen. And at the end of it all, she's just like, you don't have sleep apnea. Not even close. Shouldn't be a concern at all. You're
Uh-huh.
completely normal. You breathe absolutely fine at night. There's no concerns
Cool.
at all. Thank you.
So what are we doing here? So
I'm
clearly
like-
we're not going back to that guy.
No, the lady was like, when she gave me the results,
God.
she was like, we would normally tell people to follow up in like 6 months to a year or something, but seeing that you don't really have anything
but you're
wrong
normal.
with you, yes, I was like, I'll just follow up never. And she's like, yeah, okay, cool.
She's like, well, pleasure to
goodbye
business.
for the rest of my fucking life. I can't stand that place, and I will never go back.
My God, this is. I was gonna say the worst, but I nailed it. I called that shit. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Yep, we
Because you're fine in
we
that
all
scenario.
called it. Yes. So
The fuck, dude. Okay.
at least I've been tested for sleep apnea now, and at least I can wave that test around and be like, look, I'm not crazy. I sleep fine. The monsters come at night sometimes, but I sleep fine in general. So I was talking to my doctor about it, my primary
Okay.
care,
Okay.
and she was
That
like,
was my question. What's next? Okay.
Yeah. Because I honestly, at this point, I was ready to give up. I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
you had said that.
yeah, I'm tired of getting the runaround. I'm tired of having to pay for tests that don't send me anywhere. I'm tired of people thinking I'm fucking lying and just telling me, oh, have you ever been tested for anxiety? Maybe you're anxious. Yes, I'm anxious. That's not having. I'm not anxious about standing up. Like,
I'm anxious
when I stand
because
up, I
of what
pass
happens
out.
when I stand up.
Yes. It's just, so talked to my primary care and I told her, I'm like, I think I'm done chasing this. And she was like, well, here's the thing. I think that based on all the results you've gotten from your sleep study and nothing has changed and it seems to be getting worse. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely getting worse
Okay.
because it is. It gets worse, especially in the summertime because it's fucking
Okay.
hot.
Yeah.
But so I told her, like, I think I'm done. She's like, we have another route we can take. I found a neurologist that specializes in dysautonomia, which is what POTS falls under. So
Okay.
I'm going to go see this doctor. She's a neurologist. And it is a woman. I
Keyword
was like,
she. Okay.
yes, a lady doctor. And I did some research on her even, and she has written like papers and stuff. And remember the very, very first cardiologist I went to, he was like, oh, that's vasovagal syncope. You pass out sometimes.
Yeah.
That I was so mad about that doctor because like I know what vasovagal syncope is. That's like where like when I see a needle, my body goes
Yeah.
into like fight or flight and I pass out. That's
You've said that word twice now. I still am like, I'm just gonna agree because that's a lot of syllables.
it is a lot of syllables. I don't know what it all means, but it's vasovagal, like the vagus nerve, I think. Vasovagal. And then
Oh, okay.
syncope. Syncope is like I think out of sync. Maybe.
I would love etymology on this word.
I would
Like,
too, actually.
But anyway, okay.
But yeah, so she's written a paper specifically about how sometimes POTS can be confused for vasovagal syncope. So I was like, that's fascinating.
Okay.
So I'm
Already
I'm
good?
not. It could be good. And when they called me to get my tests and stuff, because the neurology place called me and they were like, what have you had done so far? So we're not doing repeat tests on you. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's great. I love that. So
Okay.
I told them
Damn,
about all the cardiology
alright.
tests and stuff. Yeah. And they were like, have you ever had a tilt table test? I was like, no, I haven't. I would love
Okay.
one.
Ooh, what is that?
That's where they put you on a table and they tilt you up. And if you pass out or feel faint or anything, that's symptomatic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of it now. Okay.
It's a way to test it without like activating the muscles
You having
in
to
your
do
legs.
it.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
It's very cool. And I'm not
What is it done for?
dedicated.
Vasovagal syncope and POTS. That's what the
There you
test
go.
is for. Oh my god, yes.
I'm not
Oh
dedicated
my God, we're getting
to
there.
getting a diagnosis specifically of POTS because if it's not POTS, it's not POTS.
That's fine.
But I want to know what's going on. I want to know
Yes.
if there's something else inside of me that's fucked up, something that could be fixed, or if it's just like, this is how the rest of my life is going to be, and here's ways to manage it. I just want to know.
I was just talking to somebody about this today because like one or two symptoms can be attributed to like 50 things from ranging to
Yeah.
totally okay to you'll die tomorrow.
Yeah, like maybe you just woke up a little sad, or do you have the ultimate diabetes cancer? Like,
Yeah.
it could
Like,
be anything.
That's what's so like the idea that there is this whole fucking test that's like we just put you on a table and we lift you up. Like
I know, modern medicine,
there's
man.
so many things that we do.
Yeah.
But like I bet some people go, it's just like lifting you up. That's a stupid test, and I discredit it, you know?
Right.
But medicine kind of is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Bacteria
The
make
fucking-
sick, antibiotic make better. It is that simple.
They have
You know.
a little hammer that they tap your knee and your foot
Just-
kicks.
Yeah.
That's medicine right there.
That's medicine. Yeah, they take a little bowl and put things in their ears to hear inside better. Little bowl with a
Fascinating.
string.
You
Can
know?
can with string, and they're just like, It's that
Sounds
easy.
like a heart.
It's that simple.
That's medicine, baby.
I'm very excited because I was not excited. I was excited for you to do the sleep test just to be like, what's that like? But not
Yeah.
excited for for it to be a viable diagnosis. I
Yeah.
am actually excited about this for you. I'm very into this. This is
Me
awesome.
too. But I don't
I'm
have
stoked.
a schedule for it yet. So,
Hey, it's still on the books. It's
Yes.
on the mind.
exactly. Yeah, like I have something in the works. It's in motion. It might
That's
be
great.
a few weeks. It might be like a year. I don't really know. I don't know what her busy schedule is
Yeah.
like because she's apparently a pretty in-demand doctor. So we'll
That's
find out.
kind of a good thing. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm
good.
hopeful for the first time in a while. So
Very good.
feels good.
I don't know if this is hopeful or not hopeful, but breaking news for today, I've got some hot goss.
Hot gas incoming
have
down the
hot
pipeline.
Goss right
What's the
here.
goss?
Are you ready? I want to read this to you. This came out today. It says, to our Naughty Dog community, we just wanted to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to our team this morning.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, he's leaving the
scared.
company. Everything's horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever had. And then I read it and I'm like, I'm kind of okay with this, but I wonder what it means. You ready?
Okay.
I have made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO.
Oh.
With work completed on season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on season 3, so there you go, that is definitely not happening any fucking time soon.
Oh boy.
Now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog, its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting new game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which I'm super stoked for, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive produce, direct, and write on the last 2 seasons. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting Last of Us Part 1 and the continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
So, thoughts. Because I think while it sounds simple enough, I am making a brand new fucking game at this studio. I should probably focus there. I feel like he's seeing that it is almost impossible to do this good for three more seasons for
Yeah.
this to conclude. That he's like, I think reception of this season was enough to make him leave.
I think so too. That's kind of what I was getting out of that. I mean, so video game fans are never ever going to be happy with an adaptation. Like season 1, I think was the happiest people have ever been for any kind of video game.
That, and I'd say Fallout. Everybody
Yes.
that has played Fallout fucking loves that show. Sorry, I'm never watching
Yeah.
it.
That's
I'll
true.
play the
I forgot
games
about
and then
Fallout
I'll
for a
watch it.
minute. But yeah, I mean, maybe because season 2 was not well received at large.
I mean, we did an interlude on it, and we
Yeah.
were both like, that's fine.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. It's not a must watch, and it didn't make me like excited for season 3. And maybe it makes me wonder if like was he struggling to get the showrunners to agree to do it like he did it in the video game? Or were there like creative differences, or is it just a thing of like he's given them the story and now he's going to step back and let them do the magic?
I don't know. I really think I just wonder if the writer's strike just threw such a wrench at it that like it's just unsalvageable now.
Yeah.
Like we said, if we weren't gonna wait 3 years between seasons,
Yeah.
season 2 would be better. I would probably bump it up a point to be like,
yeah.
well, but like I'm exhausted already waiting.
Yeah. It's a
To
long
know-
time.
And then this just came out. So today is July 2nd, by the way, that he dropped this.
Mhm.
He said before any meaningful work starts on season 3.
Yeah. So like they
What
haven't
does
started
that
writing
fucking
it yet.
Maybe they have started writing it, but he means there's no filming, there's no getting production ready. Because I
don't know,
mean, you
meaningful
can write
work is
something.
pretty.
You can write something and it just sit on the table, but you don't do anything with it. I don't know.
I suppose.
Like I don't know what that means, but I'm a little bit of a Neil Druckmann stan. I really fucking like him. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Best decision, man. Good job. Probably a good move. I
Are
trust
you
you.
worried about the future of the show without him?
I was worried for it with him. Like season
Mm.
1 was so good, and I did not. Go listen to our interlude. I laid out my problems. I
Yeah.
think it's the fact that they tried to make it palatable that it's just never gonna be. I don't care if he is involved. It's palatable now, and that's the whole point of that game, was to be divisive. And if you make
Yeah.
it easy to digest, it's not divisive. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna hit the same.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
Kojima, if he's taught us anything, it's that if
I
your
was
game is
just
too
thinking about
good,
that, dude.
you fuck it up so that people will hate it a little bit, and then it's
you guys
good.
like this? Fuck you. Hate my fans.
Yeah, hearing that made me want to buy it more. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
I was like, yeah, let's get that game maybe. But anyway, Hot Goss, he dropped that. He's leaving. It's not surprising. I'm not shocked. I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm kind of out of it. I don't really care what happens with the rest of it. So
So
you know,
sad, 'cause it's
whether
like
he's in
your
on it or not.
franchise.
I know, but it's just not. Season
It's
2
not doing
just
it for
really
ya.
dropped the ball.
Yeah,
Season
they
3
did.
could be really good. But I
There's
wonder
still time.
if he's not there, you know? So, anyway, that's the Hot Goss. He stepped out.
All right.
Interesting stuff. Think about that, guys.
Good goss. I have some not so hot goss.
Oh, no.
All right. So we know here at YMBToAP, I've talked about it before. I'm a huge fan of Formula One racing.
Yes.
I love them cars. I love to watch them go fast. And the F1 movie has been coming out for such a long time, and they've been advertising it during the races, and they've been like really pumping it up and hyping it, and the trailers are so good.
We had the music get dropped in our Discord, and it's
Yes.
fucking banging.
And it is fucking banging. The music is the only good thing about that movie.
Wow.
It was garbage. Oh my God. It
man.
was so bad. You texted me the other day. You were like, should I see the F1 movie so we can have to talk about that on the show? And I was like, please don't see it. Don't see it.
Damn.
Oh my God.
So I was going to see Megan so we could cover all the things that came out for the week. And I
Mhm.
thought that's why you were like, yeah, expand our journalistic reach.
Yeah,
But no.
go for a different horizon. No, I was like, please avoid Formula One.
Damn, because I've been excited now. for
I
it.
know. I was really looking forward to it being kind of like a jumping off point for people to get into the sport, you know?
Yeah.
It gets almost everything wrong about Formula One racing, which
Okay.
shocks me because my favorite team principal, Toto Wolff from Mercedes, is one of the fucking executive producers on the movie. And one of like the biggest racers of all time in Formula One, Lewis Hamilton, is a producer on the movie. So I'm like,
And they just didn't pay attention to what was going on.
I don't know if it was a thing
I'm like,
where like
Hollywood's got it.
I kind of wonder if they wanted them involved, they wanted their name on it, and it was kind of a thing where like, well, pay me good enough and you can put my name on it and I don't care what you do with
Gotcha.
it.
I mean, yeah.
Because they were both in it for a very short period of time. They had like one or two lines between them.
Okay.
But that's it. So I don't know if they were like
Wow.
consulting or what, but my God, it was a bad movie. Like
Damn.
laughably bad. There's they get all the racing stuff wrong. The dialogue is really, really cheesy. Okay, so let me just tell you, in regards to the racing part, Formula One is like really specific with their rules, and if you do anything wrong, like you get penalized for it. You get
Okay.
a flag, you get a cash fine, you get like 30 seconds to the pit stop. You have to sit there and stop. And this movie, the dude, our main character, Brad Pitt, his name is Sonny Hayes. He's an old time racer, and he's here to come in and show these young guns what it's all about, because the relationship between a man and his car is just that. You can't have no computers between you. All these kids and their simulations, they don't know what they're doing these days.
That sounds an awful lot like Cars 3 so far.
Oh my God.
But Cars 3 was good.
So, all right.
Okay.
So he gets behind the wheel of a Formula One car, and his strategy is like, what if I just crash out everybody else so no one else can finish the race? You can't do that. Like
Anywhere.
Yeah.
That's people's lives. That's
right.
murder.
Especially in Formula One. Like the cars go so fucking fast and they're so small. There's a scene where he like accidentally his fucking teammate goes flying. Literally, it was like a comedy for a second. It was like a what do you Dukes of Hazzard moment where like the car
slow motion
something.
car shit. Yeah.
Yes, like it goes slow motion, just flipping through the air over and over like 1,200 times, and then lands off screen and explodes like a CGI fire explosion. Like they may as well have had like
my God.
a Wilhelm scream in there too. Like it was
Okay.
so bad. And then the dude is like fine. He goes to the hospital for a couple days, but he's fine.
And he was like, I hit the eject button. I got out.
It was okay. I was fine. Oh my God. But yeah, he crashes 3 times in one race, and you can't fucking do that. They put like 3 different front noses on him. You get one of those in a race.
Yeah.
That's a rule. You can't do that. So they get all the rules wrong. They get all the racing wrong. The dialogue is laughably bad. Like the teammates are fighting each other, and one of them walks in and he's British, so he uses the term like swanning about, which is like, you know, being an asshole. And so he's like, oh, you come in here, you're swanning about. And Brad Pitt's like, swanning? What does that mean? Are swans like assholes? And the guy's like, swanning about, you know, showing off, doing stupid shit. And he's like, okay, so swans are assholes. You're a swan.
Oh my God.
Like that's a line in the movie.
Oh my God.
Also, there's 2, maybe 3 women characters. Their entire purpose, I don't think they ever speak to each other. Of course, they don't speak to each other about anything other than a man does not pass the Bechdel test. The women characters exist in this movie. One of them to accidentally walk in on Brad Pitt naked once and then totally like fuck up during the race and be like, oopsie doodle, I'm a woman, I can't do stuff right, because she's in the pit crew and she's the one who's fucking stuff up. And then the other one who's like an engineer, I was like, cool, woman engineer, she's gonna like design the car and stuff. No, she's there to sleep with Brad Pitt. That's her role. It's the dumbest movie I've seen in some time.
It's 2.5 hours too.
Yes, and I felt every minute of it. It's so fucking long. And for what? For what?
And it has such good reviews.
Why? Who likes this movie?
Google users gave it a 96%.
Are you
Rotten Tomatoes has 83.
Holy
IMDb's
shit.
at an 8, and Metacritic is at like a 70. So that's like kind of
can't be. That's unreal. They're paying for this.
So there's the like fresh meter, which is like critics, right? Then there's the popcorn meter, which is us, the people, and it has a 97 from the people.
What?
I have to see a review.
Oh my God.
Show me.
I didn't even know it was an
review.
Apple movie. Like I trusted Apple to do good stuff because their stuff is always like pretty top notch for the things that I've watched. Oh my God.
Can I get one? Awesome movie. Love the racing scenes. That's all it says.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just watch Formula One, bruh.
But also, it's dated July 3rd, and I just said it is July 2nd right now.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Good movie, just a bit long. Great movie, very wheel made.
Very well made.
Definitely go see it.
Oh
Okay,
man,
okay,
another
finally.
thing.
1.5 stars. Brad Pitt's character is so extremely unlikable that he would have better served as the villain in this movie that, despite its fast action, goes nowhere and leaves both F1 fans and newcomers disappointed.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my God. Javier Bardem is in it, and he's awesome.
Yeah, because he's like the owner of the team, right? He's like, I tried to put you on the team, and you're gonna fuck it up, and then what about if you die or something? Yeah. That's all I've seen in the trailers.
Yeah, that's the whole story. But he's great. I liked him. Watching him was really the only good parts. But man, it was a bad, bad movie.
Well, that sucks. Because
Man,
I was
okay.
finally getting pumped for it.
Everyone in Reddit is like, as a big racing fan, lots of suspension of disbelief needed to make it through. Like, yeah, obviously. The storyline wasn't anything special. That being said, the racing scenes themselves were so magnificently captured. Seeing it in IMAX had me in awe at times. You just like cars. You didn't like this movie. You just like the cars. And that's fine. Just
That's
watch
like-
the races.
So here, can you like it if you put it in like a Fast and Furious type scenario, knowing, well, it's clearly not real. It's clearly for fakesies. Because Fast and Furious was about the cars, and then it turned into, what if these people just can never die? So they launch a car into space
Yeah, like...
with Diet Coke and Mentos. Like, I don't think that's what really happened. They built a rocket engine, but still, it was ridiculous. Well, okay, saving my money on that one.
Yeah, don't go see that one. It's so lame. It's so lame. That's the best word for it.
Well, hang on. Who's this director to? He makes good movies.
Who is the director?
Joseph Kosinski, not Krasinski. Kosinski. He did Top Gun Maverick, which was literally ranked as one of the greatest movies of all time.
Okay.
He did fucking Tron Legacy, which is
Man.
fucking good. I love that movie. Oblivion, which is a Tom Cruise movie, which is fine. He's apparently doing Top Gun 3. That's interesting. And he did the Twisters movie that just came out that people fucking went gangbusters for.
So he's like into bodacious action type stuff,
It seems like it, yeah.
which is fine. I mean, this movie had its fair share of bodacious action. It was just so... I know that a lot of people would look at Formula One, be like, it's cars going in a circle, that's boring. But like, I don't know. I find it to be a pretty exciting sport, and it's very dramatic. Like, stuff can change on a dime in a split seconds, you know? People might say that if you make a movie about racing and it's just about the racing, it's going to be boring. But like...
No. People watch that in real life all the time.
Yeah. And I would have really loved... I mean, I loved the Senna movie. I
The what movie?
Senna. It's about this Formula One driver. You would love this movie. It's a real story about a Formula One driver who like crashed his car and like burned out his lungs really horrible. And it's about him like fucking pushing through and going back into the sport. And spoiler alert, he does die racing and it's horrible.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, it's a documentary for Netflix. Okay, I could watch that.
it's a very good
15
movie.
years old. Oh my god.
Is that old?
It's from 2010.
My God.
That is nuts. Okay.
I watched that way long ago. Man, that's crazy. Time flies.
Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say now because you brought that up. Movie about racing.
Talladega Nights.
No.
Shake and bake, baby. I feel like this movie was a lot of shake and bake, baby.
Well, that sucks. That's
Yeah.
disappointing.
Majorly disappointed.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Not good for you, but still.
Not good for me. Good for
What
you
would you
guys,
give
'cause
it,
now
though?
You don't have to see it. What would I rate
a 4?
it? I mean, I stayed. I didn't
Or
walk
not
out.
even that.
I think
3.
it's one of those movies where, like, by the end of it, I was laughing at it because it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's laughably bad, you know? So I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'm enjoying my time with it because it's bad. So
Yeah.
I would give it like a 4, I think, at the end of the day. I think 4 is fair.
Not as bad, but now that I've had the Switch 2, been thinking about it lately.
Uh-huh.
They really need to put something on there to show it off. Because I'm just playing this racing game,
Yeah.
and that's all there is.
Just the
And I'm
Mario Kart?
realizing that, I mean, that's it. That's worth anything, you know.
Yeah.
I want something new. I'm thinking that the Donkey Kong game hopefully will be the thing to make me be like, wow. You know,
Hopefully. When's that supposed to come out?
on my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, so I might
That's gonna
buy
be
for
fun.
myself. But like, yeah, I was playing it last night, and I was just like, you know what? What am I getting out of this right now? I was like,
Yeah.
it's just Mario Kart again, and it was fun, but like, is this supposed to hold me 6 months again? Because that's what it did on the original Switch. It was the only game. It was worth anything. You know? And here we are again. Same bullshit. I'm ready for something to be good. And
Yeah.
hopefully they do something. So, like, I still love the hardware. I think it's the upgrade it needed. But honestly, you could have just called this, like, the Switch Pro.
Yeah. That sucks.
And just been like, okay, you know? Like, it's fine. I just need... I need something to really make me go, this is why you get one.
Yeah.
And until Metroid Prime comes out, I guess, I'm not going to feel that way. So if you guys... I hope they're still easy to get later, though. Because they were when I got mine. You know?
You know, I walked into Best Buy the other day just to, like, see what they had going on. It was, like, headphones. And they had, like, a big sign out front that was, like, Switch 2 out of stock. So,
Okay.
I don't know. They're selling out still.
Yeah, it is actually probably one of the biggest gaming launches of all time, actually.
Yeah.
Which is
Really?
nuts. Yeah, it actually has sold so many fucking consoles. It has outsold so many in the launch week than like anything else. Which remember, everyone was pissed off at it, and it cost
Yeah.
too much money, and the games were going to cost
Mhm.
too much. Yet it sold more than any console in like an opening week.
Because it's Nintendo, and Nintendo is always going to sell consoles.
They're gonna.
Always.
They
It's
have
just
to really
inevitable.
fuck up, and they don't.
It's written
Because
in the
they're
stars.
Just Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they don't push anything. They push nothing. They just are. You
Yeah.
know? Like, if they could
They
push
don't-
the boundaries and do something, it might scare people away. But they won't do it. That's why they're just where they're at.
I don't
You
think
know?
they have to push. You know, they've like.
They
I think
don't.
that they're complacent, and that's not like a dig at Nintendo because they can afford to be complacent. They've spent, you know,
Yeah.
what, 50 years at this point, 40 years, like building the brand that is Nintendo. You
Yeah.
hear that, like, your parents are still going to call any video game system, "Oh, you play Nintendo."
Yep.
Like, that's it's what it is. You don't need to do marketing for the thing that is the
That's
thing.
true. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
The hype is that it's Nintendo.
But, like, the thing is, though, every now and then they drop something that's just like, holy fucking fuck. You know? And it's amazing.
Yeah. Look at Animal Crossing. Are you?
By the way-
hearing the fucking rumors.
Yeah,
about,
I was about
like,
to say, that's in 2026, maybe.
have they announced it
No.
yet?
No.
The next Animal Crossing?
No, that's still rumor stuff.
Animal Crossing rumors. I really, really hope they release one. If they release an Animal Crossing, I will be purchasing a Nintendo Switch 2, I believe.
That's what I've heard. As soon as that's the thing, everyone's ready to get one.
Yeah.
And you know what? I won't be buying it.
What if it's a live service? You're not going to buy it?
No. I played New Horizons. I got my fill. That's not the game I want to play. I would not buy more. I don't want to play the next one. I played this one. I'm good.
I want to do it again.
No, I've gotten my fill of the crossing.
One more again.
I've been crossed. Animal Crossing. One more again. So anyway, that's my. I was just thinking about it last night and kind of was getting sad. So I was like every day I go into the store and be like, what can I get to like make me go wow? But
Yeah.
there's nothing here. So I'm like, well, guess I'll race again, or. So last night I was like, I guess I'll just go get all the costumes for these people. They've just made like 8 costumes for every character, and there's 50 characters, so there's like
Jeez.
400 costumes, and I'm like, cool. It's the turtle with a helmet on this time, and then it's the turtle in a kimono. Like, is that really a system selling thing? No.
It sounds like you're talking about Overwatch 2.
Kind of.
Man.
You know, that's not a thing.
The battle
That-
passes, I'm
that doesn't
getting
sell
like
anything.
I'm getting miffed at the battle passes because it is like just here's Do you remember when Overwatch used to come out with an event and they would release like 20 fucking skins and you could just get them in loot boxes and they were banger after banger after banger? I wish that they still had those times. Because, like, I mean, loot boxes happen still, but they're not like the main focus of the event. It's like the battle pass. You have to get to this level so you can reach that and get this.
Play 50 rounds in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to hear something really cool, though?
Yes.
Shay and Adri were going through their stuff, and I was like, hey, do you guys have my Last of Us Part 1? Because that's a really nice steelbook. And they were like, yeah, we were hoping you weren't going to ask about that. I was like, oh, trust me, I remembered. And then she was like, hey, Overwatch is dead, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, like, I have like, the disc. Like, I bought the game. I was like, that's pointless, right? And I was like, yes. And she goes, okay, I'm going to throw them away. And I went,
don't throw
can
them
I have
away.
it? She was like, why? You just said it doesn't do anything. And I was like, it's just for preservation.
Just got to have it.
So she gave me 2 copies because they each had bought one at different times. And so I have like an original with no like stuff on it. It's just like the day it came out and then like the game of the year one. So like that's like that's the like whatever one. Who cares about game of the year? It's that other one. I was like, oh,
yeah, that's cool.
That's like the OG one. Because I would have never had that one. I got into it a year later.
Yeah.
So game of the year is all I would have, but I bought it digital because I was like, well, it's online. Why would I want a disc? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have an Overwatch disc that will do nothing.
Awesome. I love that.
I'm gonna try to put it in later and
it's
see
gonna
what
crash
happens.
your system.
It's just gonna be like, oh, that's plastic.
It's gonna be just a video of like Jeff from Overwatch with the fire
Crying. No, yeah, it's just him like 3/4 profile from the back, and he's just like watching the fire log,
single tear,
silently weeping, Tiny Chef style.
God.
All right, you ready to take a break?
Yes, please.
Let's do that.
Oh, you think you know what happened to me? Look, I'm back, and I'm about to unearth all the secrets in Old Cove. So do a little refresher on Season 1 and get caught up before Season 2 arrives. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what's coming.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite that offers a rotation of content centered around true crime to paranormal cases. Severed True Crime covers high to low profile true crime cases like the Westfield Watcher, The Staircase, The Keepers, and other binge-worthy favorites on Netflix. Severed Paranormal peers into the corner moon windows of the Amityville Horror House, the Conjuring House, and other mysterious cases, locations, and urban legends.
I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. We want you along for this investigative and haunting roundup. Scare you soon.
Kelsey,
Robert.
I believe you said last week that this week's Monster Monday was gonna get wild. That there was gonna be reveals out the ass.
Oh yeah.
There was reveals out the ass.
Reveals out the ass.
These 4 I watched in one sitting.
Good.
Headphones on.
Yes.
Riveted.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Let's fucking do it. So
'Kay.
we last left off with Grimmer waking up in a pile of bodies, and he's like,
And going like,
Magnificent Steiner did it
I
again.
became Haley Steinfeld again. Yeah. Fully remember that. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So, episode 43, we are on Detective Sook, who more like Detective Suck. Am I right? This dude, he is brand new to the force. Nobody seems to like him. He's an up and comer, and he's just like, I'll do it. Believe in me.
God, I felt so bad for him, like going to the murder scene.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, so I wasn't sure. I mean, he does say very early on, oh, is it just because I'm a rookie? But, like,
Yeah.
he walked in and said stuff, and I was like, nobody seems to know who this guy is. I was like,
Yeah.
is he even a fucking cop? Because he was like, yeah, just go look for somebody. And they're like, where do you want me to look? There's nobody here. Well, find a way to find somebody.
Go
And I was
figure
like,
it out.
This guy's given the most ridiculous commands. Like, does he know what he's doing? And then he's like, what? You don't believe in me because I'm a rookie? And I was like, Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a lame-o. God bless him, you know.
I
He's-
mean, I like him. There
I do
was
too.
not 1 second I didn't like him. You know?
I had some seconds I didn't like him. He's annoying. Like, he doesn't...
I mean,
I guess he's just a rookie, and, like, I'm seeing him through the eyes of the other cops in the show.
yeah.
He's
I
just a
was-
little scrappy dude.
I was just like, I mean, did they get into... Yeah, they did get into, like, why he does this and stuff. Because I was like, yeah, I'm with this guy. Like, I was, like, all about him. I just thought he just didn't have any confidence. And I was like, man, I wish, like, he could, like, find his own, you know, and become
Yeah.
this thing. I feel like we kind of get there. A little.
Kind of.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But,
So
anyway.
So yeah,
Mhm.
he shows up at the crime scene with Zaman, and did he
Oh.
know?
and we were wrong, by the way. We quoted last week that Mr. Nail Clippers got the
Mhm.
shot to the head. No.
Oh, he didn't.
Actually, one of the goons that got a shot to the
Ah.
head. Because they
Right.
said Zaman got beat to a fucking bloody pulp that his face was unrecognizable.
Yeah, and it made me think, like, why did Nina do that? Was she like, is there something going on with Nina where she doesn't want whoever finds him to identify him, or is it?
Maybe?
I was trying to
Well,
piece that together.
Well, at that point, I was like, oh shit, it is Haley Steinfeld. He really did turn into somebody. No, like when that got said, I was like, maybe that's legit. Maybe that's real.
yeah,
You know,
because
that
I mean,
he did something.
we can't be led to believe at this point that Nina is gonna beat the pulp out of a dude's face.
Especially I mean, he is a large man.
Yeah, he's a beefy
It
dude.
would take a lot to overpower that dude. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, Nina's like
Well,
110 soaking wet.
I mean, okay. What? She could have, I mean, just like waylaid on him with the pistol. That's hard enough, I guess.
I suppose. Or the room was kind of full of pipes and stuff, so I mean if she got a pipe.
I'm not gonna lie. Even though they said that, never once considered she did that.
Really?
I never once was like, yeah, she fucking just waylaid these dudes. I never once considered it. Now that you're taught, see, this is why you talk
This
about
is
Monster
why.
with your buddies.
You
This
gotta
is
do
why you
it.
talk about Monster with YMBToAP. All right, guys? That's how it fucking
Right.
works. Because based off of a later episode, I fully understand that scene now.
Okay, maybe you can explain it to me later.
I mean, I think you know now. We'll get there. There's a thing at the end of a show that I gasped at so completely. And we'll get there for another reason. Future Robert, remember the joke you want to make about this?
Okay,
You got it? All right.
Commit it to memory.
You got it. Cool. Okay. So yeah. But no, I really never did. I just thought Grimmer maybe actually was doing whatever the Steiner thing was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like he really did beat this guy up. And then I went, oh, we said that he caught a bullet to the head. Oopsies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then you told me, you even said that they clipped all of his nails.
Yeah.
I know I'm jumping ahead, but he later showed all of his fucking fingers, and I was like, oh shit, Kelsey was right. They cut him deep.
It's so gross.
They were like halfway down.
Yeah, like it was. I keep looking at my nails and just imagining what it would be like. It's
You guys
fucking me up.
might miss StreamYard times because I am so curled up thinking about this right now. My shoulders are above my head.
It is
Oh
no
my God.
good.
Oh, so then, what's his name? Sook went in there and then also like threw up. So like,
Yeah,
you can
but
tell
he
just how
preserved the
greenhorn
crime
this guy
scene.
is.
He ran out before he threw up.
Preserve the crime scene.
I was laughing at him. His poor man.
I tried to look for people. There's no one here.
The cop is just standing outside. I don't know what to do.
It made me like really think about like how it is to be in those roles. Like they
Oh my
are just
God.
people, and you just have
Yeah.
to stand outside, and then someone goes, "Hey, look for somebody," and you go, "Okay." Like blind orders,
Start
you have to
looking.
follow. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he leaves. He the doesn't throw up in the thing. They are going to start trying to figure out who everyone is because they don't know who the two goons are. They go like,
Yeah.
we know this is Zaymon Nail Clippers, but these two guys, we don't know who they are, and that's weird. That's a problem because why are they here with our guy?
Yes.
And then, man, these episodes got so like, I don't know
Convoluted.
how to say it, like thriller novelish, espionage novelish.
Espionage. Yes.
That's it.
It started
I was
folding in
digging
on
it.
itself. Yeah.
I was confused, and I am still confused, but I was digging it.
Okay. Good. All right. I'm a little confused too, so it's fine.
I'm digging it. Okay.
So yeah, he's super unwell about Damon's death. He was like a mentor to him, right? Like
Yes.
they were close.
So I don't think it's a bigger deal later, so we'll just go ahead and talk about it now. But Sook wanted to be a cop because he used to watch cop shows on TV, and he'd play like cops and robbers with his friends when he was little. He's very Judy Hopps to me. Like,
Yeah.
he just is in love with the idea of doing the justice.
What a
But,
comparison.
like, he's not...
He's not cut from that cloth.
Yeah. And so Zaymon, I think, liked his moxie, you know?
Yeah.
And just, like, took him under his wing to maybe him potentially being a good detective. Because he is, like, a rookie detective. Now, being a detective is a rank. That is, like, a
Yeah.
title. Like, that
You
is
gotta get
above
through
police
more cop
officer.
ranks. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
he had to like arise to that level.
I would say he's 20-something. He's pretty young, I think.
He does seem like young, upcoming buck.
How old is Sook in Monster?
We get a fucking timeline later on, by the way, which I don't know if we want to talk about it now or later, but there's a moment where they tell us how long Tenma has been on the run, and I was like, what?
I fucking know, dude. Jesus. This says it's implied that he's in his late 20s or early 30s. I'm putting him
Okay.
in 20s.
Yeah.
Because he is just a little too young.
He's a baby face. He seems very fresh.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So,
So anyway,
yeah.
he's unwell.
He's feeling bad about Zaymon, and then he goes and gets drunk with like all of his cop buddies, these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, you know, he was like my mentor. Like, I really loved him. He was a good guy. And, you know, he was treating me so well. And it just sucks because, like, he deserves justice. And it's fucked up. He
It's all
died.
emotional shit. Poor guy.
And then he's like, oh, shit. There's this really hot girl over there that I saw in the grocery store. I'm going to go say hi.
Yep.
And it's who? It's
Nina.
Nina.
Our bestie.
Okay. This confused me. Maybe this will help.
Okay.
If I tell you. Was Anna her name? Anna's really part of her name in some way, right?
Yes. So Anna Liebert is
Yes.
who she was before she was adopted, and her
Before the
adoption
adopted
parents.
and then they gave her Nina. Gotcha.
Yes.
I was like, is this because I
think we've
just don't
heard-
think she would go by Nina. No, I don't think she would go by Anna. I feel like Nina, and I'm dropping hints here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nina would go only by Nina.
Yeah.
Because she fully accepted those step parents. She fully accepted that life. I do not think Nina would ever use that name. And I
Yeah.
wish I had that thought during these episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of on the same line because I was like, okay, she's lost it kind of because we see her like killing these fucking men in cold blood.
Yeah.
She's maybe not beat up on that guy super hard. And now she just doesn't even know her own name. Is she breaking? Is she becoming the monster? Is
I was
something
like-
in Johan getting to her?
I was like, well, okay, alias. We're using an alias, but yet you kept Liebert? I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like a little, like, I don't know. You know, I didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so... I think that's the point. The point is we're so focused on Sook and
Mhm.
his, you know, cop drama that we don't really have time to give that a lot of thought. You just go
Yes.
like, well, we know that's a name. That's valid. And we move on. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I did, you know?
Right.
So...
And she makes mention too. She says, I don't know what did she say? I don't know who I am. I only know,
don't know
Cheddar
who I-
Bridge and Three Frogs.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of all we really hear from her in this. She's really a background character in these couple episodes here.
In these first two, yeah. We really need to get to that reveal so I can ask questions now that you just fucking said that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's so much, man.
My eyes are... I'm just like... playing some stuff back. Not even from these 4.
From before.
Okay. I have to ask now. I just have to
Okay.
ask now before I forget it.
Let's do it.
Does that mean in our last set of episodes when they were trying to do like therapy on her and she like
Mhm.
didn't really remember the book and she was kind of freaking out? Is
Yeah.
it because that was Anna Liebert? Wink, wink. And
Oh,
it
you
wasn't
think-
really Nina with Reichwein and all them?
No. Maybe? I don't know. I'm getting goosebumps.
Now I don't know because you said that and I'm like, well, why would Anna wink
Hoink.
say the same thing that we just heard from that random like I remember scenario?
Yeah. So
Oh
okay,
shit,
so
I'm a little
last
fucked up about that
we-
now.
I think that's definitely Nina.
Okay, good.
Because, yeah, so Reichwein,
Like it would
yeah,
have
she's
to
hanging
be.
out with Reichwein and everything, right? Like that's Nina for sure. And
Well,
they,
is it because
because remember Lota has the book and she's like, "What's this book?" And like Nina's like, "Oh God, 3 frogs," and that's when they do
Because-
the psychiatry.
because that healing, all of that has to be right after the fire, right?
Yes.
But we have been missing a Tenma and we've been missing a Johan in that time. So how long between fire and our Grimmer episode are these two scenarios?
Yeah, we don't really get a timeline between those two, but it's enough
So-
to where like I think it happens probably in the
fuck.
span of a couple of weeks to a month, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. So did Neat... Okay, we're going to have to table that and come back when we do the reveal because I'm like,
Okay, we'll come back.
is that not who we think even in that episode prior to these now?
I think it is
And I
because last we see
Have run cold thinking about that.
Last we see from Nina, she is walking off and Dieter follows her. So she's with Dieter at this time.
And she already did the healing thing with them. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. Dieter's... Okay. Okay. Okay.
We're
My
good.
mind is settled. We're good.
All right.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, holy shit.
How long has she been
layers.
there?
Okay, cool. We're good. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out.
Okay.
Nina
okay.
has Dieter. This Nina, no Dita.
No
Very
Dita.
interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, she has been a background character. She keeps just popping up and meeting Suka in this bar. And
Yeah.
that felt so un-Nina as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Like, why
she
is
didn't
Nina
want
in
to
a
drink
bar?
at the ball with the
Yeah.
Loda.
Right. Good
Because she didn't do
callback.
anything there. Like, I'm just realizing how many fucking clues were laid out in my eyes, and I didn't even notice. Oh fuck. Okay.
Okay.
But so yeah,
All right.
she keeps just coming back, and just like, kind of sweetening up to him, but like just enough to keep him like on the ropes.
just enough to keep him talking
know-
because he's spilling his guts to her. He keeps talking
Oh,
to her
yeah.
about like suspects and shit. Because he's like, oh, I think this like tall guy named Grimmer. I think he's really suspicious. Maybe he killed those 2 detectives. I don't really know. And
Really think he could have? Yeah.
yeah. So Nina walks away, and Snook is now out on the hunt for like, what if I go to the 3 frogs? 'Cause maybe she's there. I don't know. Because he knows where the 3 frogs is for some reason.
Oh yeah.
So he heads to the 3 frogs, and who else is there but our good friend Tenma?
Yes,
hanging
and they
out.
just pass each other, and that was kind of it with that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we
I'm
see
trying to
Tenma
think.
talking to the guy there? Or that's later, isn't it?
That is later.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we come back to that after.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how we get to this next part here, because he basically was talking to Anna and has a realization of like, oh my god, this is what happened, and he like goes to the where does he go that then he
He,
runs
like-
into that chief guy?
Yeah.
He pieced
I don't-
together something very good.
He did. I think he thinks something about Grimmer or something, right? Because then he just like leaves.
Oh yeah, because they were like, I'm just daydreaming about this pretty girl I saw at the bar, and the chief was like, hey, Sook, you gotta pay attention. These two guys, we know who they are now. They are secret check police, and we want to know why they're fucking here. And we still don't know where that guy is with a big ass fucking duffel bag. So everyone be on the lookout. And then he's talking to Anna, and he's like, yeah, I passed this guy with a... They were talking about somebody who was walking around,
Yeah.
and he was like,
With
oh,
the big
wait, with
duffel
the big
bag.
duffel bag.
Yeah.
That means he was at this hotel. And he pieced it together. Oh, I'm going to do justice for my guys. They my nail clippers. So he runs to Grimmer's room,
Mhm.
and then this chief of police dude is there. There's like head detective right here.
Yeah.
This head detective shows up and he's like, oh, good work, Detective Sook. That you managed to figure this out all on your own is rather impressive. But here's the thing. I need you to keep this to your fucking self. Shut your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah, he's like, keep it under wraps because Zaman has been assigned to an undercover mission to investigate those former Czech secret police. So, like, don't go telling nobody.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, what's up with that? And he's,
Yeah.
he agrees, which is whatever. But you're like, well, what's really going on? And, like, I was like, is this guy really a detective? Because, like, he just happened to know where Grimmer's thing was, too. Like, what was his play? How did he piece that together?
Yeah.
But I guess he's a head detective.
These episodes got fucking complicated. There's some plot lines that I just kind of like, I feel like I dropped the threads on a few of them.
Is this how you felt watching Mission Impossible when we went and saw that?
Yeah. It's like these people all know each other and I don't know any of them.
So he's like, all right, I'll keep it hush-hush. Then they go back to the station, and the chief of police is looking for Sook, and he's like, hey, you were close with this guy, so you pack up his shit, and you give it to his widow. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So he's like combing through all of his desk and stuff, and he finds this key, and he's like, oh, that's to his locker in the shower room. I'm going to go in there. So he goes in there, and he finds that cinches up what the head detective was saying. There's
Yeah.
this book in there with notes on every single police officer in the entire station.
And a big envelope full of cash.
Full of money. And I just, man, detective work sounds so interesting sometimes, though, to piece this stuff
does.
together. Because
I
then
know.
he takes it to the chief and goes, well, I found these in his locker. And I love that, how he just goes, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
It was like a test, and he was like, well, if I had to think about it, I would say that he was researching all the people to find if there were any Czech secret police within our ranks. He found these two, and then they paid him hush money to not say anything.
Yes.
And then it breaks his entire perception of his hero, and now it's the whole don't meet your heroes bullshit, where,
Yup.
he's like, he's just as corrupt as anyone else. He's just as infallible. And maybe I'm wrong for what I think. Maybe he's not the great guy that I thought.
And you can really, like, they drew him sad because he, like, has a moment
Yeah.
where his shoulders, like, slump and he looks up at this guy and he's like, God damn it, I trusted that guy. I liked him a lot. And he just
Yeah.
looks broken. But also, importantly in this episode,
Yeah.
Patella is at the bar at one point. and
Head
is
detective.
hitting on
Yeah.
Nina. Head detective Patella. He's at the bar and he walks over to Nina and is like, hey, sweet lady, what's up? And she gives him the saddest look ever. I don't know if you clocked that, but she turns around with this like big doe eyes, like, please don't hit on me, sir.
So honestly, I think that's when they did like the Full Metal Alchemist, the break thing.
yeah.
And I was like, is she smiling? Like, it looks sinister. I almost
Kinda.
got like the vaguest tiny smile of like, yeah. Like something was at play. But then they replay that scene when it comes back in. And I was like, no, it's just like a normal face. I was like, maybe I imagined that. I don't know.
Maybe they drew it different twice. Who knows?
Ooh,
Monster can do
now-
that, you know?
Now I got to go back.
So
And then
at
again, I'm pissed because I didn't piece it together from this either. You're right. So He's trying to hit on her, and then she gives him a gift.
Yeah. And so at the very, very end of the episode, you see he whips out this bag of whiskey bonbons. He's like, I got these from a real beauty at the bar, detectives. You want to enjoy some candy with me?
Because we can't get drunk, but we can have whiskey bonbons close as we can get.
Just as good. So.
Okay. Foley work. Okay. The crinkle of the paper and the...
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
was great.
ASMR.
It was really good.
So good.
It was pretty good. So it ends there with them eating the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I am glad that I at least called that. I went, them motherfuckers are poisoned.
Yup.
They gonna die. I saw this 30 episodes ago, okay?
Yes.
And then, yeah,
Okay.
so we come back for episode 44, The Two Darkness.
Yes.
That's a weird title, but okay.
Right.
And those 3 people died. So
They're
the 3
freaking
people,
dead.
what it was the head detective, and it was the 2 guys who were secret check police that were in
Yes.
the book, having been called out for being the secret police.
And so I kind of wonder, like, was the head detective rotten too?
I think so.
Okay.
Because he met with them, which made me
Yeah.
feel like he was in on... He knew that they were. Is how
That's kind of what
took
I
it.
was picking up from when he was, like, asking Sook, what do you make of this? I think he was giving him
Yeah.
that test to be like, do you actually know what's going on here? Or are you just
Yeah.
stupid and you're going to let this go by?
Yeah.
So,
So they die, and I mean, it's like watching episode 2 all over again. It's the
Yes.
same. It's literally the same thing.
the
Our
same
guy
playbook.
not there. Our guy was not there. Sook was not present, but he was the last person to have anything to do with him. So what? Maybe he's the guy.
Mhm.
What? An innocent
Sook is-
man framed for poisoning people with whiskey bonbons yet again?
Imagine. Sook is just
Um,
really in over his head, the poor guy. Like, he is being kind of, like, thrust into the limelight by the paparazzi outside. They're like, what do you think of the case? And he's like,
I
you know.
loved that part. He's like, well, we are looking at leads. So you're definitely saying that it was this guy? And he's like, well, I didn't say that.
Thankfully, another detective swoops in and is like, quit talking to the fucking paparazzi.
I just love how he's like, this guy's not on the case, so all of his things are irrelevant.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a good cover, And then he looks dejected yet again. Yeah, I guess I came and talked to people.
Yeah. And then he gets, like, put on another case or whatever to work on. So,
So then, see,
uh-huh.
we got there. I was right. I knew it,
Okay.
man. I knew it, man. So he's all about finding Grimmer, though. He's like,
Yes.
I'm still looking for who killed my mentor. I know he's bad, but like, I just want to know. He's
Yeah.
still about the justice of it all. But since he knows his name and he knows about, the murders that happened a couple weeks ago at this point, or days ago maybe, with
Petrov.
Beer. Yeah. What's his
Yeah.
last name?
Reinhard Bierman.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the 511 Kinderheim director guy, and then the maid, and then the kids got sent away, and he was like, oh well, that Grimmer guy was there. He was part of that case.
Yes.
Maybe I can find out something from the kids. So I'm gonna go talk to them. And
Yeah.
I love that he answers our question for us. He goes, hey, Antonin, they said you're the leader. What's up with that? And he goes, I don't
Yes.
know. I guess because I'm taller or something. And I went, cool,
Yeah.
good. Answer right there.
Anton's just as confused as we are. There was one
These
really
shows
cool
answered
detail.
all of our questions. Okay.
Yes. There was a really interesting detail that I picked up on. So Grimmer and Petrov, when they were talking and he was doing the thing, like the little blackmail, like, oh, it'd be a shame if something happened to your nice illicit orphanage. They were speaking in Czech. They were speaking in German so that the kids who spoke Czech didn't understand them, so they could have that conversation kind of in private.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Ooh,
'Cause
that
they
was
asked Antonin-
interesting in the last one. Oh no, it is this one because Tenma does that at one point, which I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Like I kind of had like a fourth wall break. I was like, oh, I'm watching a show in German.
Yeah.
It's just not. Oh.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. the way that they play with language and stuff in here, because you have to remember like all these different languages that are happening at the same time, because Tenma is a Japanese man, but he's been working in Germany for so long that he speaks and reads German just fine. And then there's like this whole Czech plot because we're in Prague right now, which I keep forgetting. I'm like, okay, we are in the Czech Republic at this point. So
that was like probably one of the coolest things that Monster has done for me was what I mean, that's in the 4th show that we watched. But I'm talking about it now, though. The fact that Tenma shows up to a guy, points a gun at him, and the guy's speaking, and there were subtitles. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you got him this time, but he goes, not Czech, speak German. And then it's in English that we understand. So it's like, oh, they're all speaking German. That's so interesting. Yeah, it's
very cool.
Fucking great. Okay. That is a good detail. Good call. Good call.
Yeah. So we talked to Antonin, and he's like, so what did you hear from the men? He's like, well, I heard like orphanage, I heard illegal, and I heard 511 Kinderheim.
Yeah.
And so
Kinderheim.
Yeah, he's like, oh, interesting. I'll write that one down. Haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
So Antonin fully vouches for Grimmer. He's like, we were playing soccer at the time that murder happened. He didn't do it. I was with his ass.
Yeah.
And he also implicates a beautiful blonde woman. He's like, we saw this beautiful blonde woman coming out. I think you have to follow her.
And then I love how much Antonin's just like, you know what? I'm just going to tell you everything because you're not going to fuck with my guy.
Straight shooter.
Because he's my guy. And you know that Grimmer's good. He's like, I'm meeting him later with this key that he gave me. And I'm like, okay, so it was the key, but also we're flashing that shit around. I was like, what are you doing? But he's just like, you know what, cop? I don't even care if you follow. I know where he's going to be. You can be there too. And you can talk to him. But you ain't taking him because he didn't do anything.
I don't give a shit. He's innocent.
And then, so yeah, they go. He goes to meet Grimmer. They're all playing soccer. He still plays like an old fool, which is very funny. I loved it. And so then, Suk comes to talk to him. And, like, Suk knows he didn't do this shit because he's like, look how beat up I am still. And he shows off his fucking fingies, man.
Nasty, nasty nails.
Oh, my God.
So bad.
Okay, cool. So, he's like, yeah, you know, it hurt like a son of a bitch. But, like, I couldn't have done anything. He's like, I mean, I might have killed those 2 guys, though, but I can't really even say.
But I don't really know. Could have been me. Could have not been.
Well, you know, I might have to take you in. He's like, well, you got to do what you got to do, man. You know, we all do what we got to do in life. I'm such a happy-go-lucky guy. Yeah.
Yes. And then he also drops this fucking banger of a line. He says, the only person you can trust is yourself. You can try to put trust in other people, but they will let you down.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, what's happened to you, Grimmer? Who's hurt you?
Which we'll get there.
We will.
Oh, man. So, Suk meets with him, and then
And Grimmer gives Suk the key. He's like, this key, I think, is what's making everybody get murdered. So why don't you take it for a little bit?
Well, he even says, which was what I was saying, he was like, you know, don't really want to have it on me, because if they come looking, like, I literally can't have it. So, have fun with that. Maybe we can see what it opens. Maybe later?
Who knows?
All right, see ya. So,
and then just, like, jump cut to Tenma now.
Yeah. And so Tenma had snuck into Prague finally. He's here.
Yes. And we see him asking about the 3 frogs sign. So this is where we learn more about the lore of the frogs.
And the guy's like, oh, it's just a sign. It's been here through a world war, through fires. It's just kind of a staple of the city. Everyone knows about it. It's just what it is.
And there was a woman who lived above the 3 frog sign in this little apartment, and she had a kid. But she got arrested for participating in anti-government activities, which hits a little close to whatever the fuck is happening in the United States right now.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, there was only one kid with her. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl.
They all look the same at that age.
Yeah. And then later, he's like, so later there was a boy found in the apartment just like trying to make macaroni and cheese for himself, and he set the place on fire.
Yeah. And like Tenma has this whole thing. He's like, well, wait a minute. What if they took a kid at the time, which was the girl, but then the boy that nobody knew about was still there. And then the guy goes, well, I guess that's plausible. You're right.
Yep.
You're right, Mr. Tenma.
That was one of those moments where my mind was just like, like
I was like, good on Tenma for like being able
being
to
the
see
best
the
detective
situation
in
for
the
what
show.
it could be, you know? Yeah.
Yes. I think it's because he's such a good doctor. He has to analyze everything from all these different points and think about like, what's the most logical solution here? Or what's something that could
Yeah.
happen that could make it all this make sense?
Yeah. So that was dope.
Yeah.
And then Suk is still trying to get close to Anna.
And
she
he's
keeps
still-
like leading him on, but then he goes, well, you know, I got a key from this Grimmer dude, and he basically just starts spilling more shit. And he's like, yeah, it's
know.
got like some safety deposit box. And he said something about a tape or something. Well, anyway, I guess you're going to leave me again. And she's like, yep, gotta go. Good night. And so they leave. And you have this beautiful scene where she's just like walking through the city. Oh, good night, Mrs. Whoever. Oh, good night, random man on the street corner. She knows everybody on her way home.
Mm-hmm.
And then she fucking gets home.
They're all greeting her as Anna too, by the way. Everyone's like,
Yes.
hey, Anna. Good night, Anna.
And I straight up was like, oh shit, like Nina's hardcore these days because she
Yeah.
pulled off her hair. And I was like, oh yeah, she's got it cut short because she's like a fucking badass now, right? Yeah, she's so fucking hardcore. Oh my god, she's so pretty. Past joke that you guys heard, Robert, remember? That was it. Because I was like, oh my god, she's so pretty. And then fucking Johan looked up and I went, oh my god.
Jump scare. It's so fucking
I gasped
spooky.
so fucking hard. And I ripped my earbud because I was Taylor's doing homework. I literally just like start like going, oh, oh, oh. And I'm like screaming. Taylor doesn't look over here. And I finally just like ripped the earbuds out and I said, you're not fucking watching this show. But like, you know how there's fucking twins and shit? And like the girl's a good one and the guy's a bad one. Remember that? And she's like, yeah, kind of. And I was like, well, the girl's here. Well, guess what? Remember the twins? He looks just like her while he's dressing up like her. And he scared me so bad.
I
And she goes,
hated.
she goes, okay. Went about her business, but I was shook, man. Shook.
that face that Johan makes, that creepy little toothy smile that he gives directly to the camera.
And
is
what did he say?
horrifying.
Because like he looked up and was like, a tape.
I don't think.
Like,
Did he say tape? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He's like, so
Yeah.
there's a tape, and like, I just.
and
ugh.
what? I wasn't gonna watch 2 more episodes. So yeah, immediately
God.
the buds back in episode 45. Fucking go.
Yes.
And it's called The After Image of a Monster, and I was like, yeah, it is.
It burned in my brain. After image of a monster in a wig.
Okay.
Okay, so we
So
have
now,
this newly appointed police chief because the last one's dead now.
yes,
So
he's
Napella?
Bon.
Yeah, he got Bon. I don't know how to say this guy's name. I don't remember them actually saying it, but it's in the Wikipedia. His name is Napella.
Yeah, I just remember there was a new chief, and he was like, yeah, well, since the last one's dead, I'm gonna do my best to figure everything out.
Yeah, basically. So he immediately is like suspicious about Suk because he's like, why is Suk still around? And all these people around him are dying. Like maybe
Yeah,
he
was
is the one.
involved in all of the stuff.
Yeah.
So-
maybe he killed the corrupt chief and those 2 officers.
Yeah.
So there's so many layers to this little onion because then he goes out again to meet with Grimmer, and the new chief is like, why don't I put 2 of my best men on this? And they have him
Yeah.
followed. And then while he's out there meeting with Grimmer's like, I think I'm being followed, and there's like creepy stuff happening all around me, and I just don't
Yeah.
know what to do. And I forget what they even talk about, but they're just like more. They're
He's
talking about going to the
basically just
safety
like-
deposit box, right?
Yeah, he's like, well, maybe we should just, if they're already following us, we just gotta like shake the tail, and we'll just go learn what the thing is. We'll just learn it, and we can take it from there. Because then they walk into the fucking bank, And Sook's like, you've got a plan, right? And he's like, no, I'm just trying to see what happens.
But before they even get to the bank, we have that moment at the cafe where Grimmer stands up and starts to walk off, and then like a scream and a face and like a whole
Oh, yeah.
spooky like screamer moment happens because he
Yeah.
sees Johan just like hanging out at the cafe having a cup of coffee or whatnot. He's like, isn't that the beautiful woman that's been killing everybody?
Yeah, and he like almost has like a meltdown.
Yeah, he has like there's
Which was
there's some
really
kind
weird.
of moment that he has that I'm not really connecting the dots on, but maybe
I
that's
don't-
because of what we learn later about him.
What we learn, it's definitely from what we learn later. It has to be.
Okay, yeah, it's
But
the only
I-
thing that makes sense.
Like, basically, I feel like he had like a Johan book moment. Something
Yeah.
just triggered his lizard brain in something that he doesn't
Yeah.
really fully understand. Because
Yes.
it gets really bad later. And that one hurt my soul.
Yeah,
But so yeah, he's like, yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. And then there are definitely people following them. But there are people following both of them.
yes,
Because there's the glasses man, and I think he's on Grimmer.
yeah,
But there's the like actual detective guy that's on Sook.
right.
And so then they go to the bank. Good call. I totally forgot about that because when they leave the cafe, Johan is sitting at that table.
Yes,
And I mean, they are twins, so that would give you the fight or flight. You know, they are the same
Mhm.
looking person. They go to the place, they go to the bank, and this guy like kind of makes a call and he looks at him. So you're like, oh, they definitely got clocked for something.
oh yeah,
Like they definitely did. But then Suga's like, you've got a plan for all this, right? And he's like, I'm just hoping we make it out of here. Like, you can't know till you try.
yep,
And I was like, oh my fucking God. He's just like a lucky dude. He's just walking around blindly into these situations. What a horrible idea.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what Grimmer's been doing the whole time too. When you put it like that,
Well, no, that's the one who said it. He was like, he was like, Grimmer, I'm so shitty at everything. Like, you know what you're doing, right? No, I don't know. But we'll make it out of here. And he's like, okay.
we'll make it
Scaring
work.
the shit out of this poor kid. So then they go do the safety deposit box, and they pull it out, and it's a report and a tape. And they play the tape.
Yes,
And the tape was not as creepy as I was hoping, I guess.
It triggered some creepy shit though, because I mean, all that happens in the tape is it's baby Johan's voice, and he's being
Yeah.
interrogated by some mean
But
old
can
man.
I tell you my favorite part of the tape?
Yeah.
My favorite part of the tape was he says his name is Johan.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes into the monster story, and you're like, okay, cool. You know, we
Yes,
kinda know about
that was my favorite part of it.
Oh, no. My favorite part is, my name is Thomas. No. My name is Richard. No. My name is Tim. And he just starts, like, saying, I am all these different people. And I was like, yeah. Oh, my fucking God. This is terrifying. That part
Yeah.
was scaring the hell out of me because it's like, I was like, is that the point that he is no one? So he is everyone in his mind?
He is
Like, he can
empty.
be anything, you know?
He's a vessel.
Yeah. I was like, wow, they literally like made him nobody. Therefore, he can take the persona of anybody. Yeah. I was like, this is wild. I was riveted
Yeah.
again. Like, holy shit, this is crazy.
It sucked me up when he launched into the nameless monster story. Like that gave
Yeah.
me like I pushed back from my desk and I was like, "What the fuck?"
There once was a nameless monster who yearned for a name. I was like, oh my God, this story is everything.
He's doing it.
I was like, he's not as good sounding as Nina reading the story, but okay. But yeah, so they listen to the tape. I think he even says the whole, like, the monster inside me is growing and it's going to, like,
Yes.
burst out or whatever. He says that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, but then the questions, though. He goes, so what do you think about this? What's this? Let me change directions. Have you killed anyone?
Yeah.
No, not going to answer that. What's your favorite egg? Like, and then just launches into something normal. And then he's like, back to that. Have you killed anyone? Like, what a wild set of questions. And hard question.
Yes.
You know? So Grimmer is, like, kind of shaken by what's on the tape. And he's like,
He's
well,
really shaken. Like he goes into full gag mode and just like, preserve the
oh
crime
yeah,
scene."
he like almost throws up, and he's like, I'm good,
Yeah.
I'm good, you know.
Which was,
He's like, well,
I don't know, weird to me.
we can either put it back, or we can just go ahead and keep it because they already know about the box. We might as well just have it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna make a difference where it is, and at least we're in control of it, knowing that it's here with us.
Yeah,
But-
and he says something about like the Czech secret police don't care like how much of the tape you hear. Even a word is enough. So
Yeah.
like the fact that they have
Yeah, we're
rung
both
that bell,
implicated now.
yeah, it cannot be unrung.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I did notice that we were both being followed, but they're mainly after me.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able to get home. So how about we leave separate and we'll go opposite directions because they're going
Right.
to follow me, Grimmer. And so, you know, Sue comes out this way, Grimmer goes out that way, and you're like, okay, cool. This might be all right. But then they definitely follow Sue home.
Mm-hmm.
Grimmer, I don't think he's being followed, but he gets this like bad
Just like
feeling.
a-
He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to go well. I should probably go check on that poor kid. And then
Yeah.
he immediately whips around and starts running for it.
So he heads up to Sook's apartment, and
Yes.
he is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he heads up to Sook's apartment, and the cops are there, like questioning him about why he's meeting with Grimmer. So
I
Grimmer has not arrived
loved
at the
this
apartment
scene
yet.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, because they were going to take him in, and they were secret police. And they're like, what do you know? But they're only grilling him about, like, the fact of finding out that there's secret police in the police force. Nothing
Yeah.
about the tape, really.
No, because they're just being like cops trying to get to the bottom of the murder of their cops.
Yeah.
So they have a moment where they like accuse him of being a dirty cop to get money for his sick mother. And again, he has a
Yes.
moment where he looks broken. And I mean, I'll tell you, when I first started watching Sook, I was like, I hate this guy. He sucks. And at this point, I'm in love with Sook, and I would die for him. Like, he's so just innocent and sweet. And he says that too. He sits down and
just
he's
a
like,
baby
yeah, you can
boy.
fucking search my apartment. I have nothing to hide. And he's saying that to himself kind of as they go off and do their
Yeah,
searching.
because he keeps, like, patting his chest like, there's a fucking horrible tape in my pocket. Oh,
he's
God.
like, I know I have this to hide. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
So they're searching his apartment, and they find what? A bag of whiskey bonbons and
And the
some
poison.
tranquilizer stuff. Yeah. So they're like, well, our people that died all died by this. We can't really guarantee that you did it, but it's not looking good, so we should probably
Yeah.
take you in.
And Sook's
he's
like,
like,
those are not my bonbons.
I'm just holding them for a friend, okay? He's like, well, I mean, I understand, but can I change my shirt? This one's all sweaty and gross. I just need to change. So he goes in there to change, has a panic attack when he realizes, like, the shit's real. Like, he's going downtown. He doesn't know if or how he can get out of this. And he changes, walks back in there, and
But
finds a
first-
sight.
He's like,
Uh-huh.
I smell gunpowder. And I'm like, how do you
Yeah.
smell it? And we didn't hear any gun at all. It's
Yeah.
the silentest silencer they have on this gun.
I mean, he was, like, kind of in panic mode. I wonder if he just literally didn't hear it.
Maybe. All I can hear is the blood in his ears.
Yeah. I mean, he was, like, kind of losing it. Like, he kind of,
He
like,
was,
starts
like,
crying.
tried
Like,
I know. He tried to, like, undo his buttons and, like, he was fumbling and shaking. And he just, like, sat down and had a big
Yeah.
big sob about it. Poor guy.
So, comes out, and what? Those two secret police murdered. But we don't know that. We just see his, like, shocked face at
Yeah.
first. And I was like, what the fuck is
What's
happening?
happened? We don't know. And then cut to the stairs. We see old Grimmer walking up because he's heading up there to check
Yep.
on Sook, and who walking down the stairs but Johanna.
Johanna. Oh, my God. Yep. Perfect name. So when he busts in the door, and he's just standing in the middle of the two guys like, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
And boom, we cut that one. So now we got 46, which got nuts. This one got nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tenma, I guess I kind of forget how he hears about it, but basically people are like, oh, you didn't hear about what happened? You didn't read it in the news?
Yeah.
Why was he in? I thought we'd cut back to a previous episode.
I don't know why
Almost.
Tenma is where he's at. I think he might be, maybe
Yeah.
he's just like trying to research the three frogs and get more information.
But remember, this exact same scenario already happened. Some guy let him do research, remember? And then they went,
Yeah.
you were here all night? It's the same line. So I was like,
yeah.
are we retconning that moment that was actually in the future? I was
It's
really
definitely,
confused.
yeah, it confused me too. It's definitely just a callback, I think, where it's kind of showing like Tenma, still has all this dedication,
Okay.
despite how long he's been doing this. So,
But yeah, he's researching and he finds out about this like Mr. X, this like Czech secret service guy that this guy that let him read all these records did an interview with, and he's like, I would really like to talk to this guy and kind of figure out what's going on. And he's like, well, I really don't have time to set all that up because I gotta go check out this case that just happened. He's like, well, what happened? He's like,
don't you read the news?
don't you know anything?
And then he fully sums up the past 3 episodes, and I was like, great, I needed this.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah. The director and 2 cops were killed by whiskey bonbons, and this guy maybe did it. So I gotta go check out what that's all about. And he goes, the same shit is happening again. Oh my God, it's my story. It's exactly my story. Now he's running out to go help out. How did he get to the
Sook's
mom?
I don't know. I have no idea. Tenma's just doing his own like independent research here, I guess, and like finding.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that guy did mention something about he's like, yeah, maybe he did it to get money for his sick mom or something. And he's like,
yeah,
let's go check that out.
That's
so then he goes, and that was a great little like nod to like what's been happening previously, because she's just like, oh, hi son, are you going to school? And like they're talking, things are cool.
Playing cops and robbers.
Oh, cops. I totally forgot. Where did I play that again? Oh, that abandoned building you used to always go play in. Oh, you're so funny. Well, go play and have fun. I once was a nameless monster, and I always yearned to be whatever. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Why does she know the monster story?
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, I gotta go, Mom. See you later. And he leaves, and she goes, okay, I'll just listen to my stories. And hits play on this fucking tape player, and it's Johan's tape.
Yes.
So Sook has already gotten the tape to his mom in the most perfect hiding spot.
Oh
Beautiful.
my God.
Brilliant.
No one would ever think to look there. It's amazing.
I love it.
So then we head over to the abandoned building where Sook is hanging out with Grimmer, and they're having like a good old classic Grimmer picnic,
Yeah.
A couple bottles of wine, some sandwiches on the floor.
Of course.
And then they talk about how Tenma has been on the run for 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
This show has taken place over the course of 10 years. That is mind-blowing. Because we were talking about a timeline, trying to figure out when all this shit had happened and everything. I didn't think 10 years. That's nuts.
I was thinking like 5.
Yeah,
Because
3 to 5.
I did say Dieter looked visibly older, but not 10 years older. But he didn't meet Dieter for, I'm going to put it at like 3 years, 4 years in. Maybe more.
I guess.
Maybe he had been gone for about 5 years. Well, no, because he's been on the... Well, is it that he's been on the run or that the murders happened 10 years ago? Because they got murdered, and then like 2 or 3 years went by before like the shit hit the fan.
That's true.
Because he was still being a doctor and doing shit.
And he was still doctoring. And then they came in and they were like, it's you. You did the candy murders. And they went to arrest him.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
and that's when he went on the run.
So he's probably been on the run
7
to 5.
And he probably met Dieter like a couple, 2-3 years into that.
Into running, yeah. So, okay. We're still good.
We're fine.
But yeah, Grimmer recounts this to Sook, and Sook's like, you're basically telling me I'm going to be on the run for 10 years and my life is over? And that was kind of sad. I was a little upset seeing that. I was like, oh, wow. Well, yeah, kind of, dude. Your life's over.
Yeah.
Johan got involved. What do you expect?
Then he gets fucking shot out of nowhere from the window.
And what? To the wall. Like, he doesn't just get shot. He gets shooted.
Yeah.
They hit him in the shoulder, then through the knee, then through the elbow. Like,
they're shooting
picking this guy
purposefully
apart.
painful areas that are not going to bleed out. They just want to like pick this guy apart.
Because Grimmer says, like, oh my God, this guy is hitting precise points. They don't want him to die. They want me to come out.
Yes, and he
Oh
keeps
my
trying
God.
to get to him. He keeps like trying to crawl across the floor, and poor Sook is having a normal reaction to being shot 3 times. He's
Yeah.
writhing around, being like, "I don't want to die, help
Oh,
me!" And
that
Grimmer's like,
fucks me
"Stop
up
it,
a
stop
lot.
it, you're gonna be okay." And he's trying to like crawl over to him, and the sniper is shooting at Grimmer's hands as he's crawling. And oh my God, the tension in this scene, like. They're fully surrounded by the Czech secret police. They're coming for that
Yep.
Johan tape. They don't even know that they don't have it. They just know that these
Yeah.
guys are here. They know about the tape. We're going to get it.
Yep.
And they're across the way sniping. They're at the door shooting. They're above him. They're outside the window. There's these Czech voices like swirling
Everywhere.
around.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then we get a complete Grimmer breakdown. And I was like, oh shit,
full
he's
break.
lost it. Pushing his hands into his head, and he's, and he like fucking
And, like,
starts going
the
nuts.
flashing between all the like flashing up to the ceiling where the voices are, flashing to Sook almost dead on the ground, flashing to the window where the sniper is, flashing to
Yeah.
the hand and then the door with a gun, just like flashing all over the place. It was so overwhelming to look at, and like it
Yeah.
made you feel like Grimmer in that moment. I love
Yeah.
the show for that.
And I felt really bad for him. So then it just kind of like cuts there, and you don't know
Yeah.
what the hell happens. And Tenma shows up, which does the scene that I
Gun-toting Tenma.
fucking loved. Yep. Gun right to the back of that sniper's head that's shooting
Mhm.
Sook. And the guy's like, what do you want? And he's like, I don't speak Czech. Can you do German? And he's like, yeah, what do you want here? And he's like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, well, we've already picked these guys apart. Like, it's pretty much done. And he's like, oh, shit, I'm too late. Whap! He whaps that dude on the back of the head, sneaks into the building, and he gets in the room, opens it up, and his face is just so horrified. I was like, oh, shit, they are dead. It's ruined. It's
Yup.
all over. And there's Grimmer just standing there, just blood
Covered.
dripping from his fingers, his hands, man.
Everywhere, dark red stains all over this man.
And he has killed everybody. Like,
I don't
what,
know if he's
six?
killed?
6 people?
There's several bodies all over the floor. They're at least beat to shit, if not dead.
I'm pretty sure they're dead.
Because when he shows up, he's like, "Oh, good, a doctor. I really need you." And so do these guys. Also, can you save his life, please?
Yeah. I guess. And then he's like, yeah, I guess I just did it again. Magnificent Steiner. And he's like, I've really got to take care of this guy, so I'm going to fix him up. And Tenma's doing his doctor shit.
Doing the Tenma
Oh,
thing.
yeah. They aren't dead. At least some of them. Because he does take care of him. He gets him settled. And then later, the cops come to that building, and they're wheeling out these other men. And then they go, yeah, we got to get him to the hospital. But, like, they got first aid
Somebody
already.
did.
And, like,
Pretty
really good first aid.
Yeah.
Are you
Classic
saying they were
Tenma.
taken care of amazingly? Like by Tenma?
Incredible.
So they
So-
get, what's his name? Sook and Grimmer. Some are safe.
Well, in the
Um,
meantime, while Tenma is like, stitching up everybody and everything, that's when is that
that's when he tells the story. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's when he's like, I'm going to monologue while you're doing surgery over there. So he like goes on about how Grimmer was at 511 Kinderheim. And
Yep.
when he was a kid, like all he remembers was watching The Magnificent Steiner. And every
Yeah.
single other one of his memories are wiped out, whether by experiment or just by like trauma. We don't really know. But we're kind of led to believe
Yeah.
it's just an experiment that's like fully wiping his mind.
Yeah.
So Tenma's like, that's cool. I'm going to need to talk to you more about that later. And that's when they like go to a hotel together later on. They cut
Yeah.
to that scene where Grimmer's like coming out of the shower and he's like, I'm all clean now. Don't worry about me.
Whew. Yeah, I'm feeling fantabulous. I'm so great.
So yeah, all he remembers. So Tenma's like, I need to know everything you know about Kinderheim 511 because I
Yeah.
I'm closer to this than you would ever know. And
Oh yeah, because he's like, oh yeah, that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but like that's what they did to me. And he's like, you don't understand that we're literally on the same boat here.
yes.
You don't know what I know. But then we dropped what I kind of cried because I already knew I like Grimmer.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something like, I can't remember anything about me. The only thing that I know is that I couldn't feel happiness.
Yeah. So what they did for him is they did like an education program, basically training him to be a super spy. And his line, exactly, I wrote it down. The toughest thing was learning how to smile, which is so heartbreaking. And he smiles all the time.
And that's what he does now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad.
And I was just like, I knew you were the best.
I kind of want to rewatch this episode in Japanese because I remember the Japanese dialogue being slightly different, and I want to go back and see what it is.
I would like to hear how they do that language shift.
Yeah.
In the Japanese one, like if they do like a check and then just go back to Japanese, like how they do that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So many things to keep track of, like your time and place and shit, you know?
Yes.
But I'm not going to say still really good. I'm saying better now. Like these ones were really good, and I feel you. I feel like we are just fucking moving now. Like we're running.
Yeah, things are ratcheting up. Like every single arc now. I mean, we spent a lot of time like learning about people and getting to know new characters and stuff. I'm really interested. There's a couple of characters that I remember. I wonder if they're in the next arc. I don't remember exactly when it happens, but I'm like, why haven't they come up yet?
Yeah. I bet they're in like the last two.
Probably. But yeah, I mean, the show just keeps kind of like turning the screws, you know, things just keep getting tighter and tighter, and it's just like ready to spring.
Yes. I'm still super digging it. Love it.
Good.
It's good shit. This was a good 4.
Yes.
Great 4. So what is next?
Up the Prague arc, we're going to be watching episodes 47 through 50, another 4-episode arc, and that will finish us out for Prague.
Okay. I desperately need to meet the mom.
Yeah.
I desperately need to meet the mom. That's what I'm waiting on now.
I agree. I don't remember much else from the rest of this show except for those characters that I'm looking forward to seeing again. So
the name of the next episode is The Door to a Nightmare, so
hell yeah.
That should be fucking fun. But yeah, Monster Monday. You guys, we're doing it, and it is ramping up. We did have like a suggestion for one. I'm curious about that one because I'm liking watching these things and kind of discussing them and picking them apart little by little. So
it's very fun. It's like an anime book club.
I don't know if, we're going to pick up that next one right after we're done with Monster. We will definitely let you guys know. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying the show immensely.
Yes.
So with that, are you ready to meet this mom?
Let's do it. If you loved this episode, please tell a friend about us and tell a friend about Monster Mondays, because word of mouth is the best way we can get the good YMBToAP into new ears and new anime fans. We're into a niche now that if you had told me 6.5 years ago, Robert, one day you're going to be running a podcast that just talks about anime for like an hour, I'd be like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
But it is. So, if you guys are really enjoying Monster Monday, if you're enjoying any piece of YMBToAP at all, please tell a friend about us. I think that your friends deserve to hear us. And tell your friends that we release weekly every single Monster Monday. If they want to talk to us, if you want to talk to us, if you want to get together and talk to all of us, you can catch YMBToAP hosts and fans over on Discord. That is where all of our good buddies hang out. We talk about all sorts of things. The Discord is popping off right now because I just got my Lennox Spice Village and I'm posting all the pictures. I'm so pumped about them. I'm going to build them a little shelf and everything. If you want to see the Spice Village, if you want to talk about Monster, if you want to talk about the Formula One movie and how bullshit it was, if you want to talk about the Bechdel test, if you want to talk about how I don't have sleep paralysis. I do have sleep paralysis. How I don't have sleep apnea. talk about Neil Druckmann, etc., etc., get us over in the Discord. The link to the Discord lives, as always, in the show notes. Click on it. It's fun, okay? Thank you so much to our listeners for supporting us. We love you very, very much.
And our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Farage. Please check him out on YouTube because we love him so much. And as always, thanks for listening and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. Are you a swan? You saying I'm a swan?
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
So, go ahead and tell the people and what could be the ender. I sent you a picture of that alpha thing.
Hell yeah,
What
you
did
did.
you think?
I love that I texted you at work today. Like, can you find me this picture? And you did.
Hang on, bro.
And
Hang on, bro. I got it. Took me about a solid 15 minutes of searching.
although at first you did say, "Do you really want to see that thing?"
I mean, yeah, I wanted to make sure what I was having to put the work in for.
I just love it. You said back, "Are you really needing to see it? You know I'll find it."
I did too.
I don't know. It was so hard to find on the internet. I wanted to know.
Well, also,
Normally those are easy to find on the internet.
but also I found out like filming techniques about it for you as well. It is in fact
Yeah.
a prosthetic,
Thank
and the
God.
guy had a hard time wearing it.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
He had a bad time wearing it. It was apparently not convenient. It was not fun. It was a difficult part of shooting the movie.
I'm sure, like, if it's an appendage that it's dragging down on your other appendage. I wonder if they like wrapped it around his waist or what.
Yeah, it was like apparently like you even said kind of like a diaper with a thing on the front. That's like what it was.
Oh my God.
Like you called it. You knew. You knew
It's
how
like
they
I was
filmed it.
there.
You were like, well, if I were gonna make one for somebody that wasn't that, and Friends taught me anything, Play-Doh's not the way, Silly Putty's not the way, I would make a diaper and hang it
Oh,
off
God.
the front. Okay, are you ready?
I guess.
So actually, from the photo that I found for you, I realized it's not exactly that it's long. It's that it
Let me
is
look at it again.
stout.
It is very chunky. Like, it's in charge. It's there. You know? It's arrived on the scene.
It's here. It's queer. It doesn't want any more bears.
It is.
Why am
It
I
is-
looking at it again now, too?
Yeah, I'm
Look at
zooming.
the
There's something
one.
wrong with me deeply.
The first one where he's like running through that train car.
Yeah, what is dangling off of him? Not the fang. There's like something coming out of his belly button.
He got shot with an arrow there, so that's an arrow sticking
Oh.
out of his gut.
I
Yeah,
see.
sorry.
It's like a USB cord.
That's what that is. But then there's the other one, and notice how it is fully framed in the image. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
made a point to go. That's Samson. That's
Yep, they
why
were
we like him.
Stand here at 3/4, and where's the fluffer?
Okay, man, I'm not posting these in the Discord, so I'm sorry. You
Thank
just
you.
have to figure this out on your own.
Go find
What's
it.
all the shadow? That is not one gigantic bush.
No, that is a
Right?
bush. A bush.
That is so much, though.
That is a George H.W. right there. That is.
But it is like kind of V-shaped. Like it is trimmed.
It's a thicket.
You know what I mean?
A
Like
whole secondary beard. Give me a machete.
fuck. That,
I'm
that
going
needs to be
in.
the show title, man. Of what'd you call a secondary beard? These enders are getting out of hand. But then it was something else. Like, why do all alphas have big dicks and 28 years later? I'm not complaining.
it's
it's just
the
crazy.
Hierarchy. That's how the zombies decide. They just all stand up. Oh. Oh.
And they go, that one is hanging the biggest. That's the guy. Which then makes me go, is there an alpha that's like short and skinny, but just there,
He's there,
you know?
thonking.
Because like every alpha you see, which there are two in the movie, Like there's two. They're both
Okay.
like super buff guys. Like they're large men.
Gym bros.
Yeah. Why can't a small guy have the alpha?
Are you speaking up for the alphas, the small guys?
Yeah, why can't they be alphas? If
Why
if
can't
they're
we?
slinging 28-inch sausage, I was gonna go sauce, but I was like, well, that's not a good
Sauce.
acronym. Like SAUG, SAUG, 28-inch SAUG. Why can't they be alphas?
That would be the title. SAUG.
How do you even spell that?
It's
SAUG, right?
AUG.
Why can't the ender have the title thing? Because then someone's gonna go, I never heard this.
What if we did that? Let's do that.
You know what? YMBToAP always has first, and here we are, 304. It's a first. I'm crying.
It's hot.
All right, you ready?
I'm
I
ready.
wrote your thing.
Let's get
Okay,
this
I wrote-
SAUG.
All right. I have family in the other room, and I'm just going like, fucking Sarge. Like, can you, like, does your father-in-law hear this stuff and just go, like, what the fuck is
he's
she
in the
talking
kitchen
about
right
in there?
now. I know.
What is she talking about? This guy's large and in charge. What does she mean?
Oh God.
I have like a 7-year-old out there. Ugh.
All right, I'm breathing. We're okay. Everything's
I'm
fine.
mad. Okay, I am. I'm ready. Ready.
Okay.